We're on lesson 11-2, so let's begin. Like always, we did the guys practice in class, so we're heading straight to our independent practice. Use the data in the table to complete the line plot. Well, here, remember, I was going to say, what do my dots equal? Well, here, my dots are bracelet lengths. I can see that's the name of the chart as well, so I know that they are matching. But, remember, this has my length down here. So what are these actually showing me? Well, it's actually showing me my bracelets. So a dot is equal to a bracelet. So here we have an 8-inch. Here we have an 8.5-inch. And remember, I always want to keep the dots like that same line all the way across so I can tell how high or low they are comparatively. Here's another 8. Here's a 7.5. Here's a 6.5. Here's another 8. Here's a 7.5, here's a 6.5, and here's one more 8. What is the length of the longest bracelet? Well, my longest is that 8.5, so I'm going to put longest is 8.5, and that unit is inches. What's my shortest? Well, my shortest is that 6.5 inches. Shortest being that smallest number. Okay, that's it, so let's head to our next page. Define outlier. Give an example using the line plot below. So remember, an outlier, oops, I have to put back on writing. An outlier is a data point that is far away from the other data. And what's my example here? Well, this one right there is my example, and that is 65, 66, 67. 67 is an outlier. And the reason why is notice how far away it is from all of my other dots. Number 7, Alyssa made a pink and white striped blanket for her bed. There are 7 pink stripes and 6 white stripes. Each stripe is 8 inches long. How wide is Alyssa's blanket? Well, we have how many stripes? Let's check. My stripes are 7 pink plus 6 white. So total I have 13 stripes. Now, what I have is I have 13 groups because those are my stripes. And how big is each group? Well, each group is 8 inches long. So I have 13 times 8, which when I regroup, I get 104. So how long is it? It's 104 inches. Number 8, use the table at the right. Trisha's swim coach recorded her swim times each day last week. Make a line plot of Trisha's time. So here I have a line plot. And it says be sure to include a title and labels for the values in the plot. Well, here my label down here is going to be my time because those are the numbers I'm working with. And I see I go from 50 all the way to 72. So I'm going to do 50 and then count by 5. So 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Now notice this isn't really my time because that is not what goes at the bottom. What goes at the bottom, remember, is my units. So what I have here is this is seconds because I'm counting in seconds. And my top part is going to be my label, which is time. And time for what? Time for swimming. So I'm going to put swim time. And remember, I need to say what does each dot equal? Each dot equals a day. So let's check. Monday she swam 55. Tuesday she swam 57. Wednesday she swam 51. Thursday she must have been sick or something because she swam 72. And then Friday she swam 51 again. So we have 2 dots above that 51. If you made a line plot of Trisha's times using 0 and 5 minutes as the boundaries, would the outlier be more or less obvious that the boundaries of her line plots were 50 and 75? So they're asking if instead of using the numbers that we used right here, what if we went from 0 minutes to 5 minutes? Would it be as obvious? The answer is no, it would not be as obvious. And why is that? Well, the reason why is because my data was scattered in seconds. So my biggest range was 25. But now my biggest range would be 5 minutes, which is the same as 300 seconds. So I'm going to put the range of data would be spread out by 300 seconds instead of what? Instead of 25 seconds. So that means all these dots are actually going to appear closer together because there's more numbers that I'd be looking at. Okay, number 10. Brianna is making bracelets for her friends and family members. The bracelets have the following lengths: 6, 6 3/4, and so on. Use the data set to complete the line plot. Draw the dots and write the scale values. Well, let's find my lowest one. My lowest one is 5. And now my highest one is what? My highest one is 6 3/4. So let's check to make sure that's going to work. I see I'm counting by force because I see a force in all of them. Let me pause this really fast. So now, since we're counting by a force, let's see what we have. So we would have 5. Oops. Let me get this back going. We would have 5 1/4, 5 2/4, 3/4, 6, 6 1/4, 6 2/4, 6 3/4, and 7 wholes. So now let's plot our dots. So we have a 6. We have a 6 3/4. We have a 6 1/4. We have a 5 3/4. We have a 5. We have another 6, so another dot on top of it. We have a 6 2/4. We have another 6 1/4. We have another 6, and we have a 5 3/4. So we've used the data to complete the line plot, draw the dots, which we did, and write the scale values. So my scale is what? So scale is what are we counting by? Well, to get from one to the next, I'm counting by a fourth. So my scale value is 1/4 of an inch. All right, that's it.